The reason people's kids end up fucked up, dude, think about the day-to-day relationship between a father and a child. Man goes to work, child goes to work, they come back home, they see each other 30 minutes. The kid watches on television The Simpsons, American Dad, where the father figure is an absolute fucking clown. So now they're programming in your head that the dad's a fucking clown. The dad comes back tired, he's upset, he doesn't want to talk to the kid because he's exhausted, fairly so, rightly so. Bills have to get paid, they don't interact with each other, and how are they supposed to build a relationship? Now the children is learning what? They're learning from the teacher, they're learning from the school, they're learning from the person in the organizations that write the textbooks. Hey, father and mother, your kids are reading fucking textbooks. Do you know who fucking wrote them? Probably not. You should probably be careful, right?
They're putting all sorts of sexual stuff in schools
dude,
now.
It's everything, dude.
Yeah.
And now you're in a circumstance where your child is not your own.
Yeah.
So when I have kids, it'll be my full responsibility to raise them. And that'll be my full-time job. So I'm not ready to be a full-time father. But when I am, then I'll have kids.
How many kids do you want?
I want a lot. I want like 10.
I want 7.
Yeah, I want a lot.
My business partner, Sebastian, that you met yesterday, his girlfriend's mom is a school teacher for 4th graders, and she's been teaching for over 20 years. And she said to him, they were talking, that she's noticed in the last 5 years particularly that the young boys have gotten very, very emotional and very like women, very feminine. Yeah, and like back in the day, and you probably remember this too, even in 4th grade, there was like the one dude that was like the jock, like the high T dude that was always like kind of pushing everyone around and like just like the jockey guy that you knew would play football in high school.
I mean,
even in high school,
there's easy ways to track all of that. And a lot of it has to do with food. A lot of it has to do with the estrogen that people are consuming. A lot of it has to do with just honestly food because it's fucking people up.
Yeah.
So food, and then how teachers raise the students.
She was saying this. She was saying that a lot of the boys are feminine and they cry in 4th grade and they cry. And I remember being in 4th grade and I was already way past that where it's like if I didn't get what I wanted, definitely wouldn't cry. Not in 4th grade, maybe as a very, very small child. But she said that the boys are just very emotional and very feminine these days. And it's been like 5 years. 5 years is when it really spiked. And another thing I want to say, and I want your thoughts on this. I was at a pool one time by my mom's house. She lived by the high school that I went to. So I graduated high school in 2017. And I was tanning and I just overheard some kids talking loudly that were in high school and they went to my high school and they were juniors. This was earlier this year. And they were talking about something transgender, something gay. And I normally wouldn't do this, but I got up and I went and I talked to them and they were like, what, 17? Maybe 16, 17. And I was like, yo, you guys go to Liberty, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, nice. I graduated there. And I asked him, I'm like, I just have a question. Like, how many people are gay at your school? Like, how many people are in the LGBT community, would you say? And one kid immediately said, like, 60%. And I was like, huh? And the kid's like, no, he's exaggerating. And then I was like, okay, yeah, obviously. I thought the second kid was going to say, like, 5%, right? He's like, yeah, he's exaggerating. It's probably, like, 35, 40%. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, almost half? And they're like, yeah, like, almost half are transgender or gay. And I'm like, bro, I graduated high school like 4 years ago and there was like 3 gay people. What happened? What do you think?
Institutionalization. It's indoctrination. It's a lot of teaching people that you feel this way, therefore you're this. You operate this way, therefore you're that. A lot of it has to do with food. I'm telling you, a lot of it has to do with food. A lot of it has to do with medications. A lot of it has to do with the programming of culture. And you can see a big spike in people identifying themselves as homosexuals and things of this nature as time goes on. So I don't really have a big opinion on the whole kind of like transgender gay thing because I'm honestly just focused on elevating men and elevating myself. And if people want to do their own thing and they want to paint their nails and they want to get fucked in the ass, like, dude, like if that's the thing you want to do, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on your channel. You can bleep it out if that's not allowed. So be it, dude.
But do you support it?
It's not whether I support it or not. It's none of my business. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's none of my business. It's not about supporting or not supporting. If I supported it, what would it change? If I didn't support it, what would it change?
Would you want your family and children around it or associated with those people?
I think I'll give you a story. I was poor working at a restaurant, and there was a gay guy that was married to another gay guy, and he allowed me to stay in the room in his garage, right? He had it in for like 2 months. So I had a nice house, and he allowed me to stay. It was like the pool area. So I have massive respect for him. And even though I may or may not agree with the lifestyle, I think people are still human. And I think that you can love people for who they are. You can identify them as human beings, and that everybody has struggles and tribulations and trials, and that my job isn't to judge your life. My job is to inspire you with mine and love you for who God made you.
Mm-hmm.
And if God loves you, then who am I not to?
That's true. Yeah. I would just judge people based on their character and their actions. So I would try not to make any preemptive judgments until I see how they are and how they act and behave, and then make a move from there.
I agree.
Because I've
That's a
met
valid
plenty of
train
very,
thought.
very respectful and disrespectful and annoying gay people. I've met
And
both.
I've met many people that are disgusting and they claim to love God.
Yeah.
So I'm not, you know what I mean? It's people's condition and people's nature. So I'm just in the side right now, dude, of loving people for who they are. And I know it sounds like a super crazy train of thought as a dude that believes in half of the conspiracies that exist in the world, that understands how the financial system works, that could be so bitter at the world. But you can't be truly red-pilled if you're bitter at the system, because you are the system. You are part of the virus just as much as everybody else. And if you understand that, now you look at everybody with grace and with humility. And that's kind of how I see it.